Welcome back on Happy Chat Guys. So today we're going to have a little story. Uh, so as I say, it'll be my truth. You can make up what you want of it. So we're going to look at London. We're going to look at Churchill. We're going to look at Churchill's bunker. We're going to look at the money system, the imperial system. So that brings us to London. Now, whatever part of Britain you're in, what you will find is this is where everything is held. This is where the financial side is held. Let's just say in a simple form, it's like when you go to a concert, London would be on the stage and everybody would be looking up at the stage. It had the power, the wealth, and shared it out among the people. And the further afield, the less you got. Now, in London, what we have is the Churchill bunker. What you know of Churchill, I don't know. I didn't know anything really, just knew of the name. Knew it had something to do with war. And so, why would there be a bunker placed after such a person? Why? So I was curious. This is the kind of things I come up with. Now you gotta think of the British colonies and London being the centre, on stage, main part of Britain, controlling everything. So we're looking at the underground of London. And in that underground, you have the bunker, which was in World War II, I believe, created for Churchill. Churchill brings church and ill. Don't forget, this was a man of war who strategically would work for the British government to plan out the war, oversighting it. Now that could be seen as many things, but that's how I would see it. Absorbing energy, making people ill, brings hospitals, doctors, to sell pharmaceuticals. Now these are places seen around the world that we need all the time. From the simplest little things to some disastrous things. And so they create wealth through that from the people. Churchill was a British statesman, military officer, writer, and Prime Minister. In 1940 to 1945 and 1951 to 1955. World War II rallied the British, and from 1900 to 1964 he spent 62 of them years a member of Parliament. So he had a lot of control on the British side. When he passed away, apparently the Queen said he would be missed, and that it would be hard for them to keep going in the way that they'd been going, because he would be such a loss because of his strategic ways and his leadership. Remember, they took over all the colonies, and it came to a way where the British didn't fight anymore, but they still run all the colonies. Strategic movement from physical war to mental war. He was Secretary of State for War, Air, and Colonies. You just think of that. You're Secretary of State for War, you're Secretary of State for Air, you're Secretary of State for Colonies. War, we know what that is. It's pretty obvious. But as I was saying, strategically flipping the lid, so to speak, from physical to mental war. Air, think of the Bible. Just think of today even. Pollution in the skies. Spraying. Chemically spraying the skies so people inhale that. Bringing sickness. Helping pharmaceuticals. Bringing illness. Ill from Churchill. Then you go to church to pray over them. Overseeing the Anglo-Irish Treaty and British foreign policy in the Middle East. He was everywhere. He was in between everything. He knew everything. Because he was in between everything, he's seen everything. So strategically, it would have made sense to have someone that knew so much, that had been in all these areas, to make some strategic moves. And this was all during the Cold War. He warned off Soviet, whatever way you want to pronounce that, Union, and promoted European unity. So that was like my 5 minutes of looking up Churchill, from seeing a bunker of him that was for him in World War II, I believe. And if you look at the pattern, is all I'm saying. You've got London, the main stage. The British intelligence, whatever way you want to put it. Churchill took control of everything. And so after the World War II, he was able to change it from physical war to mental war, where these colonies wouldn't see it coming. And they didn't, because it's been running all along. And there's the illusion created of physical war, and it's put out there. I'm not saying it doesn't be happening, but it's put out there for you to be taken by it. And so you go to church and pray about it. You pray everyone's well, everyone will be okay. And because you're stressed out with that and all the mental materialism that you see and everything that's advertised to you, you're stressed and you get ill. Churchill. And so strategically, the mentality side has been war on the people in the colonies, controlling them, manipulating them, and spraying the air. And what have we noticed? Wars, violence, disruption, all on the screen. Being mentally manipulated. As I say, it's just my story. You can take your truths from it. But I always wondered why, when you see somebody that's important, or seen as important, why would they be so remembered? And this is a person of war. How many other people of war have been looked after like Churchill was? These people went out and fought for their country and then ended up lying on the streets, struggling to survive. Yet you had someone like Churchill have bunkers for protection created for him. Because he was creating for the British intelligence. Creating an intelligence of manipulation, of war on the mind of the people. So, this is just a short bit of work, so you could correct me in areas of this. I'm not well read up on it or anything. As I say, 5-10 minutes thing. But just look at it. Look at the patterns. There's no innocence in it. And as I say, you make up your own story. I'm just telling you how I see it. It's there. I put it on paper. It was already on paper. It tells the story within itself. I believe so. But maybe you have something different. Maybe you know something different. Anyway, this is just my story. Well, happy chapper, love and peace.